years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
We continue the most chaotic half an hour in radio. Crossover between the happy hour and On the Block. I'm Austin Norman. Stricky on the far, your right, my left. Happy hour, Nick and Rico in the middle. USF or Syracuse is what we're talking about. Is Kyle McCord starting on short notice? That's the real question.
Oh, dang. That would be crazy.
Upperclassman veteran. He'd be the
Give me
Josh Dobbs
Syracuse
of
locked to
NCAA
3.5.
football.
Yeah, if Kyle McCord's starting, then yeah, Syracuse. But since he's not, or at least I doubt he is. Give me the Bulls.
He is not.
Give me the Bulls in South Florida. I mean, there's a chance.
They don't have
Did you see
either. So.
Did you see Western Kentucky? Their quarterback was in the transfer portal. He suited up and went with them to the bowl game. Emergency, they're down 17-0, so they put him in the game. He leads them to a comeback victory. He's still in the portal.
Yeah, shout out to Austin Reed.
Big Austin Reed guy here.
Yeah, me as well.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I know you guys talked about Casey Thompson with us there for a little bit too. But we didn't get a chance yesterday to talk about Trevor Purdy going into the transfer portal for Nebraska. It started leaking about, what would that have been, 5:30 or so. And we had Evan Bland on the program. He didn't give indications that he knew that was coming. So in the 2.5 hours from when we had Evan on to when Trevor Purdy announced it, either it became official or something changed. But the state of that quarterback room, Nick, I know you and I talked about it a little bit, the conversations around it, it still feels like there would have been room for Nebraska to bring in a veteran or retain a veteran, like a Trevor Purdy, a Casey Thompson type, even if it wasn't him. But whatever it looked like, we said Nebraska probably needed 2 quarterbacks this offseason. I don't think anyone expected it to be 2 guys in the same high school class at all. So what are we feeling about the state of the quarterback room? They got the 2 we wanted, even if it wasn't the 2 we thought they were going to get.
I don't know, guys. I mean, I think you feel okay. You don't feel good because neither one of what you would assume. I mean, you have 3 scholarship guys right now. There's 3, and one of them had some experience this season, but their play regressed, and that's Heinrich Harburg. Trevor Purdy's now out. You then have 2 other guys that haven't played a single snap of college football that are both, I mean, some of the better high school quarterbacks in the entire country, but they don't have a single snap of high school football. Like there's, and in the season, in the landscape of college football, there's not like warm-up games.
Yeah.
You can't have warm-up games anymore. And so,
and what do you really learn out of spring? I mean, really, let's be honest. You don't.
So I mean,
coming out of spring last year, we were told how great Sims was.
Yeah.
I mean, well, coming out of fall. I mean, coming out of fall camp.
Yeah.
It was, Jeff's completing a rate. I'll never forget the comment from Marcus Satterfield, where it's like, listen, Jeff's completing at a rate of 65%. And I was like, okay, cool. Because
they fixed him.
The statistics show that if you have a quarterback that completes around 65% of his passes, you're winning 8 games.
Yeah.
Nebraska was able to figure out a way to win 5 and have a chance to be, 5-3 with 4 games left with a guy that was not completing nearly that. So, I don't know. I don't know how great you feel about. You feel great about the future, but the immediate future next season specifically, I still would like them to go out and see if they can get a guy that has plenty of experience. That even if he is understanding of, hey, listen, I don't have a chance to start, or even if he does,
he would have to have a chance to start.
He would have to have a chance to start, but understanding that, hey, listen, this is the way the room's kind of shaped up, and Dylan Raiola is going to be the hot commodity. So. We just need you to kind of be a bridge.
Mentor him.
Yeah, mentor.
Yeah, you would like that, but hearing Rule in his presser saying that they're not really fans of the 1-year guys kind of puts the kibosh on that, because if you go out and you get a guy that's, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, that cuts into the time where, look, they brought in Dylan Raiola and they're really confident about the future and possibly the present with him. So if you're bringing somebody in, which I think that they probably should, even if they don't like it, just a 1-year guy to be that bridge quarterback, to be that maybe a mentor and to at least push him in the spring and in the fall, even if they don't end up winning the job, which is going to be hard to convince somebody like, hey, you're going to come here and you're going to battle it out for the starting spot. You've played college football for 3, however many years you've played. You're going to battle it out with a true freshman. Like it'd be really hard to convince somebody that there is a chance that they don't end up being the starter and the guy in front of them is somebody who hasn't taken a single collegiate snap. But in my mind, I would like that. I would feel a lot more comfortable with the quarterback room if they did have somebody like that. But with the 3 scholarship quarterbacks, they do also have the walk-on Jack Wosh, who Luke Longville, some of those guys who I guess not played, but have been in the collegiate ranks for a little bit. Maybe those guys will be sort of mentor figures, but again, guys that haven't really taken as many snaps of collegiate football.
And that's why I think Heinrich Harburg is staying in the quarterback room. I don't think they want to go get that 1-year guy. So even if there's potential for him outside, like we've talked about before, Strick, I just think they're so low on options. They feel like they have to keep him there at least for this year.
Yeah. I'm not against that. Again, I still believe that there needs to be an identification of a quarterback coach. Just when you have such youth in the building, you want to make sure that mechanics and, the ability to read and whatever it is in their passing game, that the messages are being conveyed, because you don't want to have to take the onus of that from Coach Satterfield, who really needs to ramp up his side of the ball in so many ways and creativity. You don't want to take him off that. I'm okay with him being with the tight ends. I think that's something that's his mainstay. That's what he's good at. But I still think they need somebody at that position to be able to help in this progression of getting those guys. Now, I personally think still find a way to use Harburg's abilities like a Taysom Hill. Just, find out ways in which you can use him. And if not at the quarterback position.
I would argue, though, that like right when we started to see Heinrich Harburg, that thought came into my mind of the Taysom Hill. But I don't think that by the time he was done being Nebraska's starting quarterback, that the decisiveness was there. Like, I don't know if Heinrich Harburg's running ability, yes, he's an incredible athlete, but I don't know if I trust him.
You wouldn't trust him like at a hybrid tight end position, run him up seams.
Maybe at a tight end position.
Yeah, that's what
I'm thinking about. Like Taysom Hill taking snaps.
No.
Taysom Hill throws the ball sometimes. Do you want Heinrich Harburg throwing the ball at all?
I'm saying you can still use it, whether it be in Wildcat. Yeah. There's so many creative things.
Who was that guy that Minnesota had, that 6'4", 230-pound third string quarterback?
If you want to run him,
they
straight
did that
line
pop
run.
pass couple times.
Yeah, something. Just there's so many creative things you can use them.
Texas had the 18-wheeler package
Yeah.
where they brought in that big boy quarterback. It was mostly a goal line, and they're like, look, he's either going to run it himself or they're going to run an option with him, and he's just going to follow behind the big boys. He's also a big boy himself. But does Heinrich's running ability, does his athleticism offset a potential if it's needed for him to pass the ball? Does his ability to run the ball and his athleticism offset what we've seen and his lack of accuracy and the turnover prone, maybe not as much as Jeff Sims was, but still turnover prone that he has?
I think so, because I think you can use him at that tight end position, not only with his straight line speed, his ability to probably take advantage of mismatches that could pose. I would match him up against any linebacker or any strong safety out there with his abilities there. So I look at that, and then I also look at the fact that he don't mind contact.
No,
he likes to put his. So I wouldn't mind him on some crackbacks, some wham blocks. I think he would freaking love it. But I think his mechanics are so far away, man.
What does
I just don't think, and that's the issue. Like, I think he's probably would want to, but if I'm Rule and I'm that staff, I'm telling him, I'm having a conversation like this. Where do you want to be after this is all said and done? When college is set and over, where do you want to play? Let me be real with you. I coached at this level. I'm trying to tell you now, you're probably not going to be a quarterback. So what do you want to do? If you don't want to play, we'll leave you here and we'll give you a shot and let you, run it out, and your career could run out, in the great good night, in the daylight savings time, of whatever it is that you have.
But if you actually want to get on the field,
if you want to play and get on the field and you want to play at the next level, here's where it can work for you. As a professional coach who's been there, seen, evaluated, I'm trying to help you, young man, but it's up to you. I'm not going to force you, but let me just tell you.
That
and
tight
then
end
it
room
will be up to you.
That tight end room is stacked right now. And I don't know about talent-wise, just bodies-wise. That tight end room has a lot of people in it.
But there's so many packages, right? 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Those guys are young too. Like, who's to say that they're ready? We always thought Fedoni. I'm still not sold on Fedoni.
Yeah.
He's soft as cottonelle to me.
Well, and
I'm
sure.
just saying.
I mean,
I've seen him miss with blocks.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I had this conversation on air a couple days ago regarding the tight end room, and this is where I kind of landed on it. We always say that they're underutilized, right? They're underused. Well, when we speak on that, we always gravitate towards just in pass catching and in touchdowns. Underutilized also means, what are you getting out of them as a blocker?
Yeah.
In the gritty parts of it. Yeah. I don't care if, here's the deal is, I don't care if you go out and just have 1 touchdown in 3 games, but guess what? As long as you're making the block on a wide receiver screen, then okay. Yeah. But multiple times when Billy Kemp got blown up in the backfield, it was because we had a whiff.
Yeah.
When you're not quick enough,
a tentative whiff.
Yeah.
Not a goal aggressive.
When you're not quick enough to get,
I don't think it was that.
horizontal or when you're not willing to just kind of lower your shoulder or blow somebody up, well then, maybe this isn't the level. Like, then that's okay. But maybe there's another place out there where you can be just a receiving tight end. And I'm not strictly speaking to Thomas Fidoni. I'm talking to the whole tight end.
No
room,
question.
because there was a lot of blocking issues on the perimeter. And this can be this. I mean, you could say the same thing for wide receivers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can say the same thing for wide receivers.
You want to tell wide receivers.
You can go down the list.
Yep.
You can go down the list of guys that maybe aren't. If you're not going to play a role in the vertical passing game, that's fine. Be out there and have a purpose while you're out there.
Yeah, we need some Cluster Johnsons and some Abdul Muhammad's and guys like that block 15 yards downfield.
I say they've been talking about it where the whole no block, no rock. If you're not going to block somebody, you're not going to get the pass thrown your way. And Nick just said, if you're not going to have an impact in the vertical passing game, if you're not going to have an impact in the running game, you're not going to be a part of the vertical passing game. If you can't block somebody, then in the packages where we're going to pass it, we're pulling you off the field because you're not doing your job in this play. Mm-hmm. Why are we going to reward you with a potential touchdown if you're not out there busting your butt trying to help somebody else score?
Rico, let me speak to that, because let me just take it to the basketball realm. Because I talked about this with Josiah Alec.
Mm-hmm.
He was scrapping, hustling, no rink mask, just trying to do the best he can to, fill a void.
Yeah.
And he got on the break a couple times after a couple transitions and ran his butt off, and they fed him.
Yep.
That's what you're talking about. It's that reward for the work. You know what I mean? Your willingness to run and do this and do things that may not necessarily show up in the stat sheet. At least it shows up in the production of the team, moving chains and stuff like that. It's the same thing people used to say about me. I was watching the game that me and Austin were watching, and you heard the announcer say, Strickland, he does things that may not necessarily show up on the stat sheet, but it shows up in the win column.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. Those are the type of players you want. Glue guys that are going to do stuff that may not necessarily be the glitz and glory of the thing.
Because you think, if you're out there blocking, then at some point, with that play action, you're going to pretend to block. All of a sudden you get out there. They've been blocked by you so many times. They're prepped for it. They're waiting for the run. All of a sudden you're running by them. Same thing. You're scrapping. You're doing all that down low. You box somebody out. It's a long rebound. All of a sudden you're running. They're waiting for the physicality of you boxing them out. They're not ready. All of a sudden you're out on the break. There you go. That's why you get those rewards.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of taking it into the basketball realm, we got some good basketball knowledge in the room. Let's use it. Huskers and North Dakota. We'll talk about that game and plenty more as we continue on the block. Of course, brought to you by our friends at Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Opened today, tomorrow, and Saturday before the Christmas holiday.
Thanks for sticking around, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Thanks for letting us.
Yeah, thanks for allowing us.
This is On the Block. More of the show next.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
New year, new career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating. Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your curb appeal with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com. Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, Ugg, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
I'm Sergeant Jones with the Nebraska State Patrol. Driving drunk puts everyone on the road at risk. In Nebraska, over 30% of all roadway fatalities occur in alcohol-related crashes, and every one of those could have been prevented. The decision to give your keys to a sober driver could be the decision that prevents a roadway tragedy. Help keep Nebraska roads safe and always drive sober. This message is presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Gary with Gary Michaels Clothiers Lincoln. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, which started in Hastings in 1983, I often reflect on the Lincoln men's stores no longer here. They are McGee's, Ben Simons, Landon's, Rothschild, Sir Winston, Post and Nickel, Ragman, Murray's, Miller and Payne, and Joseph A. Bank. You know where I'm coming from. Gary Michaels has been battle tested, and we are committed to serve Nebraskans as your premier store for men for many years to come. Gary Michaels Clothiers, 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you. Finally got control of our show back. Those two yahoos. No, I'm kidding. Appreciate Nick and Rico sitting in. The crossover is always good with them. Let's talk some Husker hoops. If you've got thoughts on last night's game, you can let us know on our starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685, as well as on stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, all up and running for you. If you've got thoughts, let us know what those are. We'll do our best to get to them. Strick, you were down not just at the game, but courtside for the call on a BTN. Plus, from a distance, watching this game, watching the highlights back, I didn't feel the juice from Nebraska. I didn't see the communication on offense or on defense. What was your vibe courtside?
Yeah, there you could tell that the energy just was not there, right? So it was gonna be a test of wills, because what you had in talking with some of them and their staff early on, what you had from the North Dakota squad was they were gonna have their players get on the bus. They're going to drop them off in Omaha, and they were going to get on planes and go home. So it was one of those things of, based on what Jessica Cootie and some of the interviews that they had with Coach Sather, that they wanted some things that they wanted to accomplish. Attacking the rim, being focused on the task, playing better defense, being physical, getting to what they call the heart, which this is why you saw a lot of penetration, a lot of kicking, a lot of sharing. And they just really wanted to come in, start the game off the way that they started off, hot, and wanted to just learn, even though they may have lost. They just wanted to use this as a stepping stone to learn. I think they accomplished that last night. Even though they lost the game, I still think they definitely accomplished. They just were overmatched by the end of the time. You know, if Nebraska didn't turn the tide, they were gonna lose that game. They did, by the intensity and all of that they put in. Now on the other side, what you're gonna get from Nebraska, similar to the conversation I had with what we just talked about with Lincoln Lutheran, and it's being able to handle success. 2 emotional good wins, Michigan State, who we know who goes and did what they did in beating Baylor.
So they did last night, but that's okay.
And then the win also after the Michigan State game against Kansas State on the road. How are they going to follow that up with talent level not beyond theirs? They showed why they still are growing as a program. Because you're supposed to go out, blast them. Finals are done. You've got another game after Christmas on the 29th. Everything that you had should have been laid on the floor and left. You should have blew out all kinds of energy, but you thought you could come in the game, coast and go through the motions, and that you were going to be okay. It didn't work out that way.
It did not. In a game that I think Nebraska had a good chance to make a good impression, improve some underlying metrics and numbers that would come into play later in the year. But really, Strick, it was 2 guys that brought the energy early. It's CJ Wilcher coming off the bench, hitting the shots that he did. And a guy that I don't think of as a big energy guy, but Bryce Williams played pretty well. You know, he and Wilcher were the only 2 to score for a while. You don't? Explain.
I didn't like it.
Explain.
He looked like he was just, he looked kind of but that's his style. So I can't really, overplay it, but it looked less than what he would normally give me in the beginning of the game. Yeah.
Even Juwan Gary, like his energy wasn't
low.
There.
All of them. K-Say, all of them. Only one is what you said. For me, the only one, Alec was trying. Let me just say that.
Sure.
He wasn't, he's like, oh shoot, I don't even know how I can describe him. He's like a cartoon character that just continuously is always falling and just footwork and tripping over the toys and
still grown into his body.
Yeah. Right. And he was trying. But definitely CJ looked like he was about business. Like, to me, CJ Wilcher came out there, I'm about business. Jamarcus was trying. Jamarcus was, for the most part, just trying to, do what he could to, do that. His defensive intensity wasn't probably like he normally would be. So, yeah, to me, if it wasn't for CJ Wilcher, they probably lose that game, I think, because, Omot was giving him that work. And,
skinny dude.
Yeah.
How was that guy giving you work?
Yeah, he was working him over. And I'm talking about hesitations with crossovers and to the basket. And there's a couple times like he literally could have turned the ball over and banged on somebody. He was that high. Like I was like, yeah, I like this kid. I really did. I was really impressed by him.
Iheanacho came back.
And Iheanacho, struggled in his first game, but you know, and then Eagle Staff. Yeah. He got a burner on him. So he struggled early and then finally caught on. So outside of their big man, I think they're going to be okay in the Summit. I actually do. I like what they put together. I think they're going to be okay with the Summit. And then the Iowa State transfer, that Hill, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Hill.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he at? Trying to find him on the scoring sheet.
Let me see.
Well, you find that. I'll say to your point about North Dakota accomplishing what it wanted to, 28 points in the paint for North Dakota compared to 30 for Nebraska. We know Nebraska doesn't have a true rim protector. Juwan Gary might be the best rim protector. Alex not going to get a lot of blocks. Mast, who is out for a couple weeks, as we talked about yesterday, not going to get a lot of blocks. But North Dakota got into the paint basically at will, hit their drive and kicks. Very similar numbers. Both teams.
Eli King.
That's him. There you go. Yeah. He plays 20 minutes, gets a couple.
Didn't shoot well or anything, but they want him to be his point. That's who they want him to be for him. Yeah, the point. They want him to become more of a point. They think he's a tremendous leader. So yeah.
Right. A couple final thoughts on this before we play the shootout with Strick. Credit North Dakota. They came in, took care of business. Jamarcus Lawrence, I think, needs to watch some Jeremy Roach. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Duke guy, but Jeremy Roach started his career off on the ball as a point guard and has really transitioned to playing the two for the most part now. So it's the reverse, kind of transition that Jamarcus Lawrence is making. But Roach still has a point guard mindset and Lawrence is still trying to learn it. So I think Jamarcus Lawrence needs to watch some Jeremy Roach. It's similar guys with a burner on him, good shooters, can get in the lane, definitely more crafty than they are explosive, even though Jamarcus has a little bit of that. But Strick, the last thing for the segment, I want your thoughts. Was this a step back for Nebraska, or is this just one of those games that happened? You take the win, you move on.
I think it's got, and I think I said this on the podcast. This is not on the podcast, but on the call, the broadcast. I said there was a scene some time ago when Jameis Winston was still playing with the Buccaneers, where he put up the West Side thing and said, "Let's eat this. This is a W. Ow, ow, ow. Let's eat it." That's the way you just got to look at it. Let's take this as a W. Now, there's a teaching point that can come out of this. This is one of the things you would have. You give them their time off. No, don't let them think about it. But when they return home, for whatever break that they may be on, we back to business. And I don't want to see a continuation of what I saw in this last game. I need y'all to handle business in this, South Carolina State. Like, I don't want to see, there's a teaching lesson, because if you play that way, I don't care how bad you think Indiana is, Mike Woodson, I know him, defensively, they're going to get in your jockstrap.
And stay there.
And look, they're not going to, they may not be able to shoot, but they're going to defend the heck out of you. And if you're over here playing around and mess around and get down to a Mike Woodson-led team defensively, you're going to be in trouble through the night. So don't let teams get out on you. You already let Minnesota do what they did to you. Let that be a lesson to you. Go handle business, keep a business-minded focus, and take care of what you need to take care of. Yesterday's
got to be the last wake-up call, because it might be too late to wake up in the future. Huskers win 83-75 over North Dakota last night. You mentioned Lincoln Lutheran there in that segment, your talk with them. Thanks again for doing that. Coach Bowen stopped by today with Jacob and Logan, dropped off some shirts for us. So shout out Lincoln Lutheran boys basketball.
Shout out to the Virginia Pirate too on the Sauter Heyman text line. He says, I think in the past that they lose this. I think this is a relevant point. That's why I want to address it before we do shootout with Strick. He says, I think in the past they lose that game. So while we weren't encouraged by it, this is why I was talking about the W. At least they survived and didn't put a resume crusher on their tournament resume. That's the one thing I also said about it. It would have crushed any opportunity for them to get any sniff of NCAA tournament if they lose that game.
Even if North Dakota is a solid team, that's a bad resume loss.
It's a bad resume loss.
Great point, Virginia Pirate. Thanks for chiming in. A man named Ashley, notorious BIB Raider fan as well.
You guys are hilarious. I love you.
You guys are on the Sauter Heyman text line right now, but we need one of you on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Same number, 402-464-5685. We're going to play the shootout with Strick. $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings could be yours. All you got to do is answer more questions right than Strick. We play the game show next.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Gary with Gary Michaels Clothiers Lincoln. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, which started in Hastings in 1983, I often reflect on the Lincoln men's stores no longer here. They are McGee's, Ben Simons, Landon's, Rothschild, Sir Winston, Post and Nickel, Ragman, Murray's, Miller and Payne, and Joseph A. Bank. You know where I'm coming from. Gary Michaels has been battle tested, and we are committed to serve Nebraskans as your premier store for men for many years to come. Gary Michaels Clothiers, 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, Ugg, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group are Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies and a high of around 52. Tonight, a chance of rain. The forecast early, then patchy fog developing late. We'll see a low around 40. And tomorrow, more patchy fog possible in the morning, but mostly sunny with a high of around 54. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Erick Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
That's right. We do need a contestant. 402-464-5685 if you'd like to take on Strick in trivia. It's 4 questions for him. Then it's 4 questions for you. If you get more points, you get $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We would love to play the game, but again, we need a contestant. Take your shot at Strick here. Send yourselves into the holiday weekend very well. Stricky, what's on tap for
Can
you?
I give a shout out?
Yeah, shout him out. What you got?
This meal coffee is hitting so right now. Shout out to the meal for the Snickerdoodle. Yes, I had to try it, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
Okay. What's your favorite kind of cookie?
Oh man, dang it!
Cookie you steal from an opponent?
I like
their cookies?
white chocolate macadamia nut.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
With a good coffee or dipped in some nice oat milk or some. I don't really drink too much regular milk nowadays, but yeah, I love it.
I would not have ever guessed that.
Yeah, bro.
I learn something new about my partner every day.
White macadamia nut.
My wife was the one who introduced me to white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, except what she did was white chocolate macadamia nut with like a lemon twist. Yeah. Not for dipping in anything, but they were good.
Okay.
Shout out my wife.
Shout out to the wifey.
All right, we have a contestant on the Honda of Lincoln hotline.
Notorious B.I.B. I'm going for the W, baby. Let me eat a W.
We'll see. Is it Wendell or Wendell? Who are you on the Honda of Lincoln hotline? Wendell, thank you for calling. How are you today, sir?
Doing great.
Glad to hear it. Hold on the line. We'll give Strick his 4 questions first, and then we will get to you. All right, Stricky, we're doing National Signing Day.
Oh, God.
How well are we paying attention? We'll see.
I wasn't.
Your round starts in 3, 2, and 1. They had the number 1 signing class in the country, Georgia or Alabama?
Georgia.
It is Georgia. They had the fewest 5-stars among this year's top 10 classes, Oregon or Auburn?
Auburn.
It's Oregon. They had the
Mother
higher-rated
sucker.
class, Miami or Florida State?
The what?
They had the higher-rated class, Miami or Florida State?
Miami.
It is Miami, and they signed the lowest-rated class in the Big Ten. Lowest-rated class in the Big Ten.
Northwestern.
Stricky with the poll. Good stuff, Stricky. You nailed it. All right.
Excellent.
All right, Wendell, you need 4 points to tie. You need a perfect round to win. Are you ready for your shot at the shootout?
Still.
All right, starts here in 3, 2, and 1. They had the number 1 signing class in the Big Ten, Ohio State or Michigan?
Ohio State.
Yep, they had the higher-rated class, Texas or Oklahoma?
Texas.
It was Texas. They signed the highest-rated class in next year's Big 12, Texas Tech or Arizona?
Arizona.
It's Texas Tech, and they signed the lowest-rated class in the SEC. Lowest-rated class in the SEC.
Vanderbilt.
He
pulled
it
the
out.
buzzer!
He pulled
There's the
it
buzzer!
out. I
We're tied!
knew it.
We go to the tiebreaker.
I knew it, man. Dang, 2 seconds, man. No.
He got it off. We don't even need to go to the monitor. Not even close. All right. Wendell, you tied it up. That was clutch. Hold on the line here. Wendell will give Strick the question. You
I needed the champion here.
Wait, I lost my tiebreaker question.
Good.
Where'd it go?
Forfeit.
No, we're not going to forfeit. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to think of one on the fly. Okay. Here's a question, Stricky. Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. How many 5-star prospects did those 3 schools sign this year? How many 5-star prospects did Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State
12.
combine to sign this year? All right, Wendell, the guess is 12. You get to pick over or under for the win.
Over.
You're saying over?
Yep. I think it's 13,
Answer.
13 or 14.
The answer is under. They signed 10 between them. 3 to Georgia, 3 to Alabama, and 4 to Ohio State. Wendell, you had a heck of a run to tie it up at the buzzer. Unfortunately, you fall just short. Thanks for playing today, man.
right, thanks.
In the effects of my boy Ric Flair, R.I.P. Woo! Woo!
Stricky, you pull it out.
I pulled it out, baby.
You go into the holiday.
That was a good number.
On a win streak.
I threw
Really
a
good number.
I threw a good number. I said, see, that's a number to trick somebody to want to go high. If it's low, it's gonna be right.
You nailed it, Stricky.
Nailed it.
Good stuff.
Shout out to Notorious B.I.B. Thanks for the love, my boy. You always, shouting out for your boy Stricky. I appreciate you.
Stricky gets the win. We still have $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to give away here on the show. We will do that to lead off next hour here during On the Block, but we got to take a break. We're up against the top of the hour. When we get back, we will have some more audio from Matt Rule's press conference yesterday. Some interesting thoughts from the head coach. We'll give the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings away. I'll regain my speaking tongue in my voice in between hours, and we'll hear from Matt Rule. All that still ahead. Hour 2 on the Block.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your curb appeal with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Everything we do, from our jobs to our hobbies, to the stuff that makes us who we are, all of those things come with the tool of the trade. I'm Trooper White of the Nebraska State Patrol. Wearing your seatbelt can reduce your risk of injury by 50% in a crash. So every time you get in a vehicle, remember to use the tool of the trade, your seatbelt. This message presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Erick Services takes this time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. They are thankful for many things this year and every year, and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends during this joyful celebration. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your link to forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies and a high of around 52. Tonight, a chance of rain in the forecast early, then patchy fog developing late. We'll see a low around 40. And tomorrow, more patchy fog possible in the morning, but mostly sunny with a high of around 54. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Snuck into the building. Little meal, coffee, conversation. I told you the off-air stuff here is absolutely phenomenal. And guess who's in the building? Coach Brown, legendary Coach Brown, recruited me back in the day when I was interested in stepping onto the football field. He's now working for the Huskers, and we're just blessed to be able to have him sit down.
I do have to ask, did Stricky let you down easy?
Well, let me tell you something. First, Strick was he broke my heart, man. We had him out for one day. One day.
You weren't the first. You weren't the last, Coach. Let me tell you.
I was calling him on the phone. We had his teammate, Cluster Johnson. And I was like, okay, that's good. But I also want me some Strickland. You know, this guy would have been a great receiver. I had him for one day. We threw the ball every single play to him. Coach Osborne broke his protocol to throw the ball every single play to Strick during the spring ball practice. And the man was phenomenal. You'd have been an NFL player.
Well,
no question.
If anything, Coach, I probably would have been a great hybrid type of tight end. You know, one of those guys. I don't know if I would have been a split end. I don't think I had a burner type of speed. I mean, I had field speed, but not that open you up. But physicality, run routes, that's one of the things I could do. Now, here's the crazy part, right? At this time, Coach can allude to this. Two coaches were fighting and having conversations. He was like, oh, no, he's not going to the other side. Coach Tony Samuel was like, no, he's got him over here in the linebacker crew. Get him over here. And so they were going at it. But here's the crazy thing. I didn't have a playbook. So I'm in the huddle, and Coach Brown is like, okay, you're going to go in motion here, and you're going to run, a drag, or you're going to go 10 and out. You're going to run a post here. And then he's literally just telling me where to go, where to set. I had no playbook at this time. And I freaking just did everything they did, and they literally threw the ball every time. It was crazy.
We did. Well,
more than they threw probably in 2 years.
Yeah, we were drawing them up in the dirt for you because we were trying to, we wanted to get the very best athletes we could get.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to convince you and your buddy, Teron Lou, trying to get him out. I said, look, man, you ain't no 5'9", 5'10", point guard in the NBA. I said, they got guys like Magic Johnson and Penny Hardaway who are 6'9", doing all that stuff you're doing, man. You might as well be a corner in a National Football League. You could do that at 5'10". He would look at me and laugh. He had the last laugh, and you had the last laugh, because both you jokers played in the NBA forever. So proved us wrong.
Coach Brown, you've got to watch the full transition of what Nebraska football has been. The ups, the downs, the goods, the bads. Now, one of the things I've always told Austin is, and we've talked about, is Rule coming in. And you don't have to address this part, but I've always got a chance to see Coach speak, where coaches will tell you things and they'll sell you things, and you just don't see the follow-up on that. I can say that I've actually, for the first time in a long time, had a chance to listen to Coach Rule and just tell us about the integrity of the man, how you're feeling about the second year as opposed to the first year, and what is the projection of what your thoughts are for the program in this NIL era.
Well, first of all, I've really enjoyed getting to know Coach Rule this past year. I'm grateful for the opportunities he extended to me. I thank the Lord for that. We've had great conversations. I feel like I can trust him, and he's a guy that, put it this way, I'm always taking notes. Every time he opens his mouth, I'm writing something down. I think he's got a lot of profound things that he says. And one of the things that I've really appreciated about it, I think it's tempting. It's the old adage, do you give a man a fish or do you teach him how to fish? And I think he came in this year with a mindset, and I think it was very wise, is I'm not going to focus just on getting a fish. Yeah, we might win this game or win that game, but we're going to be about learning how to fish, learning how to win, the process of that, because that's going to go a lot further. It's going to go a long way.
Yeah.
Even if you lost, and that lost was the catalyst to teaching you how to fish or how to win, that in the long haul would be what you want, not just a quick win where you don't really learn your lessons on how to win. So he has done a good job of not bypassing the process. And so we're still in that process, but I believe it's going to show up.
And a lot of that's on the players too, right? In this day and age of college football, in college athletics in general, where you can get what you want by leaving. You have that guaranteed starting spot. Talk about the players and their attitude for wanting to learn how to fish, not just go grab the fish that's sitting on the counter for them.
Yeah. I think that a man has to look below what I call below sea level, SEE level.
Because say that again. That thing will preach. Say that again.
SEE level versus SEA level. It's essentially the same, but I think a lot of times when we look at people, we go on the outward stuff, 5-star, 4-star, this is what he looks like, coming off the bus. He can do this, he can do that. But who is the man?
Really him.
Deep down inside. And can you answer questions like this? Can I count on this guy not to take calculated loafs in a game? A calculated loaf is something that takes place below SEE level. It says the players going that way, they probably don't need me to hustle real hard. It's going to take a little bit more out of me. It's going to make me tired for the next play. So I think I'll take a calculated loaf on this play and let my teammates do this. At the end of the day, maybe your teammates did it and you can walk away and say, yep, made the right decision. But at the end of the day, really what's going to happen is you will, at some point when you play against really good teams, you're going to need to show up on the other side of the field. And you're going to need to be running around like your hair's on fire. And you're not going to get away with calculated loafs against great teams. And that's what we learned back in the 90s, that there better not be a loafer here, because it was called out by everybody, not only the coach, but it was called out by teammates.
Yeah.
Because the good thing about football, as a lot of sports, it's on film.
Yeah,
The
Cluster
film
used to
don't lie.
tell me those stories.
Cluster did?
Yeah, how you would
You know,
get,
you could have experienced them
get
yourself,
called out.
Ricky.
You would get called
You
out
get
on
called
film.
out. That's right.
Listen, that's why I always hustle. And that's one of the things I talk about all the time, Coach. Is that you never know who's watching, and that's that below sea level, because you may think you're sneaking, or your body language or something is, like you said, on the other side of it. But what you don't understand is giving tails. It's so many things that can be triggered off of that just lackluster effort that can hurt the team down the road. Because guess what? Your effort here, next level, could end up being a 50, 60-yard run as opposed to a 15 to 20-yard run.
That's right. And not only that, but not only what you see on film is going to show up, it exposes you for who you are, but it also sends a message to the next team that you're playing and the teams down the road that you're playing.
Ooh,
when they see you banging people, knocking the tar out of people on every single play, when they see receivers, for example, Cluster can verify this, blocking downfield and hammering people, you know what they're thinking in their mind is, man, we fit to play these cats. And look at the tenacity. These guys are maniacs. You put something in their brain to think about as this game goes on. So you stack things on film, and you not only play the very best you can on that particular day, but now because you're on film, you're setting the stage and telling folks, you better have your helmet strapped up, baby, when you play me.
That's good, Coach Brown.
So that's the kind of culture we always wanted to have.
Speaking of culture, a wise man once said, if you build it, they'll come. A wiser man once said, if you build it, they'll stay. That wise man was Erick Strickland, by the way, talking about Nebraska. You've been around Nebraska. You've stayed around Nebraska. For you, what's made you want to stay around Nebraska? And what do you see from Coach Rule and the culture that makes, the transfer portal not as appealing for guys that want to stick around to Nebraska?
But to me, it's very layered. It's not just, I just want to be a football guy. It's there's relationships here. There's the Lord has put me here for opportunities for ministry and putting my arms around kids and people who need help. Opportunities to unite a state in a very different way through the sports arena. There's no pro football here, pro sports here. It's college. And so we get an opportunity to make differences in lives of people and people all over the state. There's a state unity here that's unlike no other state. So all those things for me were important. And I also appreciate the longevity of the situation, because you need a foundation of longevity for you to have some level of continued success, I believe. And so if you're constantly having a revolving door where players are leaving all the time, coaches are leaving all the time, it's really hard to have some consistent footing. So there is a place for longevity that I think is very important, and we've been able to experience that here throughout the years. And you can't always guarantee it, but I think there is something about established relationships that go a long way.
One of the last questions we'll ask as we close and get closer, and thank you for taking the time to just stop by and come on in and hang out with
We're probably going to get a parking ticket out here.
Oh, we hope not. Darn it.
You guys got that covered.
I got one too last time I was here. So here's the thing. One of the things that I noticed is there was a trickling away from the foundational stability of Nebraska, bred, born red, love, the state is all in for it on both sides of the basketball as well as football. And one of the things that I always thought, man, is that the Nebraska talent, those who are from here understand Nebraska in a way that most people couldn't identify, or those who are just coming in don't. And that foundation was always, one to which those young men, in some instances, may start looking different than some of the highly touted and talented guys, but by the end of the time that they were here, they would surpass them. We saw a nice signing day of some great legacy kids, some kids whose fathers and family members came from that stock during that era, during that time of that foundation and stability that you just talked about. What does that, mean? Because you've been here through, I know I've seen you in dang near every regime. You've been here. What does that mean to you to see that starting to, return and see more of that happening now?
Well, first of all, it's very emotional. I'll never forget the day that young Clark from Montana decided to, commit to us. I couldn't help but cry.
A lot of people wanted that young man.
Well, not only that, but his dad was Kenny Clark, of course, who's no longer with us. But just to know the grief of losing a dad, of his mom losing a husband, and Kenny quietly produced here enormously. He was a great player. He never tooted his own horn. He was real quiet. He was an NFL guy, but you'd have never known it just listening to Kenny or watching Kenny. And so that kind of legacy, that the fact that his son could represent his dad, that means a lot to me personally, because I've coached their dads, and then to see that even although we hadn't gone to a bowl game in the last 5 or 6 years, that these young men still wanted to come here because there was something far greater than just the W's. There was a history of a legacy, something that mom and dad said were really important about this place in terms of intangibles, things that you can't always measure on a scoreboard. That means a lot. So, yeah, obviously we think these young men are great players. We didn't take them just because they were legacies. They were really talented players. But at the same time, there's an intrinsic value that you can't measure with a scoreboard.
Well, that's good stuff, man. Thank you once again just for taking the time and just have those conversations. Because here's the thing, a lot of people don't get to understand and see behind the veil, don't get an opportunity to look under the sheets and see what's going on, and for you to lay that out, because some people may be wondering why. What is it about? Well, they missed it. They've missed them. What would determine, and how does that feel? But also to understand how Coach Rule and his integrity and just his willingness to do the right things here in Nebraska.
If I could say this, Eric, one thing that I've noticed over the years is that when I first got here in the late 80s, we were a top 5, top 10 team, winning 11 games a year. And then we'd end up losing to Miami, Florida State, and the Orange Bowl. And you know what? The people were thinking, you guys can't win the big one. It was like we had a losing season, even though we had a great winning season.
Right.
It was never enough.
Yeah.
I remember one year, Coach Osborne said, guys, they may want to fire us here after the 1990 season. If you guys can get a job, I would understand if you go get it. Nobody left, stayed here.
Wow.
And then within 3 years, we were in the national championship game, and that whole thing began to erupt. But my point is that it's never going to be quite enough, ever. And that's why I've placed my faith in the Lord, because my contentment comes from my relationship with Jesus Christ. That's my contentment.
That's your foundation.
And that is what I think builds the maximizing potential to be the very best that you can be. But if you're going to find it in scoreboards and how you compare, all that stuff at some point is going to let you down. And so that's how this program was built. And we want our state to look at it inside out. And that's why what you said about, the development, that's what you were talking about. It isn't just getting the 5-star, 4-star guy. The 2- and 3-star guys that we get always walked out of here as 4- and 5-star
They sure
guys
did.
because of development. And whether you're walk-on, scholarship, when you were a player here, it mattered. I love the fact that we have 16 kids coming from the state of Nebraska here in this class.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We also have some really talented players from outside of the state. So I think it's the nucleus of something special.
There it is.
Coach Brown, appreciate the time. You're the man. He's Strick. I'm Austin. We'll take a break. More on the block on the other side.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Everything we do, from our jobs to our hobbies, to the stuff that makes us who we are, all of those things come with the tool of the trade. I'm Trooper White of the Nebraska State Patrol. Wearing your seatbelt can reduce your risk of injury by 50% in a crash. So, every time you get in a vehicle, remember to use the tool of the trade, your seatbelt. This message presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3 get 1 free on Smart Wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L, or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you. Big thanks. Big thanks to Coach Ron Brown for stopping by. Out of the blue, he was in the area. And you know, that magnetism that Stricky has. Pulled Coach Brown in. Appreciate him spending the segment with us. We're going to get to some Matt Rule audio, and I think it's still important and useful to get to. So let's jump into that. One of the things, Stricky, that you mentioned, one of the last things with Coach Brown was the legacy players, the ones whose dads or cousins or uncles played here, but specifically the ones with dads. Matt Rule was asked about that. Here's his answer, talking about the fathers of the recruits who played at Nebraska.
What's really interesting is none of them were overly involved. I mean, like, you're talking to Dom Raiola, right? You're talking to Damon Benning. You're talking to Neil Smith. I mean, like, guys who did a ton of stuff here. You're talking, and they're not overbearing. It's about their kids, and I think it's why their kids are happy and successful and going to have a lot of success. And so, they all earned it. Some of them came to camp. Camden came to camp and punted in front of us. I didn't even put the connection together at the time. Ed had, and we said, hey, we'd love to have him here. So, and then obviously Quinn, Quinn, a unique story, and that his father is passed, and I had been sent this tape. I want to say, like, for Sean Jackson sent it to me, and then Damon Benning sent it to me, and I get sent a lot of tapes and I'm watching, like, who's this big kid? And I'm like, man, he's a good player. Like, he'll have to come to camp though, because I don't really know what football's like in Bozeman, and I don't really know. So he came to camp and he runs the 40 and he's out there playing this and he's playing that. And, camp's over. I say, is your mom here? His mom's here. And we offered him on the field, like, just thought it was, if there was any way to incorporate his father into it, maybe doing it on Memorial, Stadium on the field would in some way honor him. And so a lot of really cool things. But again, the fact that they had such a good experience here, this place means so much to them that they want their sons to be here, I think is important. And also hopefully that they see some good things in us as a coaching staff, that we're doing it the right way, that, Damon's had a lot of, a look into who we are and what we do, and obviously Kayla's mom, Tanya, played soccer here. So they've, when Mario Buford, when his parents say, yes, we're going to let him come there. And here's Keith, he's been through the adversity of an ACL, and, they want him to come play for us. That's important to me. That's important to me, because I think that speaks louder than anything else you can do in recruiting, is how people who've been through the program feel.
You could hear the emotion in Coach Brown's voice when he talked about it with the Strick. You can hear the emotion in Coach Rule's voice about building a program. Guys like me who haven't been there sometimes overrate it, right? Okay, his dad played. Yeah, cool. So what? Maybe there is something to it. Maybe not, the first factor to get a guy to campus, but as a factor that closes the deal and carries that extra significance, you can tell it means something to this Nebraska program specifically.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And, there's some things we're going to talk about tonight on WTF, Klester and I, regarding that. We're gonna definitely talk about that. And
Hey, Cluster would know.
Exactly, just that relationship, and I will say that there's areas in which he feels that those legacies, those who have been around, those who've made an impact, those relationships were lost. And guys like that are actually here local, your Abdul Muhammad's, who had great years here for the university and winning championships, and guys like him and Amon Green and Steve Warren, guys that are doing tremendous things for these young men and women in training and just helping them to understand winning mentalities and attitudes and how to go about it, how to handle business on the field and off when you're taking care of grades. I mean, mentorship, all of those things that a lot of these young men, your Rashans and the likes of them that are actually here, Cluster. And Rule understands that. He understands the dynamic of that relationship and that partnership, and he expresses it, and he's actually even put it out on social media. And so we're going to talk about that, but it's important. It's important to bridge those gaps because you need advocates, especially in this day and age, right?
Sure.
The advocacy goes beyond, as you heard Coach Brown speak, it goes beyond NIL. It's not just about, monetary values and gains and stuff like that. It's something deeper. And that's the importance of what the program is hoping, I think, to build.
WTF tonight, Strickland Cluster. Make sure you stay tuned to 93.7, the ticket for that. I just remembered we didn't give away the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings because Coach Brown was in. Let's do it this way. Texter number 6 with the names of the 6 players in this Nebraska class who are a legacy. It's 6 players with a legacy. Name those 6 players. Texter number 6 with all 6 correct answers. You'll get the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We'll give you some time to get those answers in. Here's more Matt Rule. Strick, this quote stood out to me because we've seen this coaching staff move players around, offense to defense, shift positions. And Matt Rule mentioned Carter Nelson as a tight end, as a wide receiver, played quarterback sometimes, and even as a running back. What does Matt Rule and the staff look for in terms of that positionless player, that versatility? Here's the Nebraska head coach on positionless players.
I think that concept of a positionless player, I think is really something that we tried to focus on. We took a lot of guys from our camps, and we will continue to take a lot of guys from our camps that maybe might seem unrecruited, but we believe in our coaching ability. We believe in height, weight, speed traits. And when we look at a player, it might list him as a safety, but we think someday they're going to rush the passer. It might list him as a wide up, but we think someday they're going to. And as long as we have players who believe in that process and get here and get with Corey and Kristen, our development, our staff here, I think can do wonders with players. And so I don't sign a player unless I believe that they have a chance of playing in the NFL. I look at them and say, like, hey, do they have the height, weight, speed? Things might have to go right. But so I think that led you to sometimes, like, people say, like, man, you signed 7 DBs. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. I think he'll play here. I think he'll play here. You look at, last year, Jeremiah Charles, we signed him as a wide out. We think he's going to be an unbelievable corner. So sometimes they have to get here. So, and then I think a reemergence on the offensive line, we signed a couple guys that came to our camp that to me remind you of what a Nebraska offensive lineman should be, explosive, powerful, as they get bigger, are going to be really tough, physical, hard-nosed players. And then, as I said, a couple tackles that we're excited about that can grow. It's hard to find tackles nowadays.
I like a lot of that, Stricky. We talk about it with basketball a lot, and I'm a sucker for those like 6'5" to 6'9" guys that can guard the 2, 3, 4, play out of position. Obviously, it's different in football than it is in basketball. Positions are different, but just recruiting athletes, recruiting football players that know how to play the game, that if it's not working at one position, if someone else pops at that position before they did, Matt Rule's first instinct isn't to find another player to put over them. It's to find a spot for the player he already recruited. I love that concept.
Yeah, but even more than that, that means he looks beyond just measurables. And I think that's an important part as well. Measurables are important, but it's got to be beyond the measurables because it's going to take more than measurables. And here's why I say that. A lot of people think that it's only talent that makes it to the next level. Yeah, there's talent that people take a shot at on potential, but may not always pan out. And sometimes you see your Tyrese Halliburtons and the likes of those who many kind of overlook, but they saw something. There's something in them that's different, that's built different. And it's those things sometimes that can carry the day, that can ultimately lead you to have better careers than most people would have thought, right? And I think he's looking at that. He's looking at the possibilities of what our work can do on top of what that young man is built with. That combined can ultimately lead to a winning recipe. And so we're hoping that works. You know, we're still early in this process of seeing if that's the case or not. But I can see the pathway. I can see the architecture. You know, I can see the plans. And now it's a matter of the builder in building out what they're plotting out.
As a young player, Strick, I think it would take an extra special relationship with a coach to make that position switch. If you're, on campus for a couple of years, you've tried at one position, you still want to play football, but it's not working out. Maybe there's a desperation. You see the light at the end of the tunnel and you're making the switch because you have no other option. They mentioned a guy like Jeremiah Charles, who came in as a wide receiver and they're turning into a corner. That's a young guy, right? To make a position switch so early, I think that takes incredible maturity, that long-term vision that this coaching staff talks about, which is not easy to come by in young people, right? I think that relationship between the recruit and the coach, the position coach and the head coach, has to be double strong to not just get them to campus, but to get them to buy into a position switch that early on.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's got to be deep conversations. Those are again, it's the same thing conversation that I would have with Hiram Harburg, but you have to also address and talk to and here let to the need of not the need, but to the desires and the passion of what they really want. And it's similar to what people do when they have the writing boards. It's similar to putting together a 5 or 10 year plan. It's similar to what companies do in projections. And seeing it, let's just be honest, it's similar to probably what happened at Notre Dame with Xavier Betts. Coming in, Watts, yes, Xavier Watts. Coming in, leaving out better because your desire for where you want to go with your tangibles, great hands, great IQ, all of that at this position, you got a shot at the next level. Speed, all of that. The dog was created by the passion of the next level. You see what I'm saying? So you have to they have to buy in, because it's like this. If you're a teacher in a school, right? And I've taught, so I can literally say this. If the kids don't want to do something, they're not going to do it to the best of their ability. You have to get them to understand not just the book aspect of the learning, but what it's going to do with them and how it can be applicable in their daily life. That gets them to see a picture of what, if they put the effort in, how it's going to make something in their life better, right? That's the same thing with coaching. You know what I'm saying? Understanding what Keisei Tamanaga wants to do in basketball would give you a better idea of how you can use him to help your team to win. And it's the same thing in football. And I think that's the beauty of what they're trying to do.
Good stuff there. Let's take a break. We are up against it here. Again, big thanks to Coach Ron Brown for stopping by in the first segment. We just heard from Nebraska head coach Matt Rule, his audio from the National Signing Day press conference yesterday. We do have a winner for the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. I'll get to that here in just a sec. Cubsker, first time you're able to listen all week. Appreciate you tuning in to On the Block. Thank you. Thank you for the congratulations on the Colts win over the Steelers. Hated to do it to you, but had to. Them playoffs are calling. Them Colts are coming. Best of luck to the Steelers the rest of the way. Just don't be better than the Colts. And then the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings will go to 74-26. The 6 legacies in this class for Nebraska: Caleb Benning, Dylan Raiola, Keelan Smith, Quinn Clark, Camden Cook, and Trent Euler. So 72 or 74-26. Give us your name. We'll get in touch with you. You win the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We'll step aside. When we get back, we will wrap up on the block, hopefully with a crossover with Jay Foreman and Old School next.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on Smart Wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your length of forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies and a high of around 52. Tonight, a chance of rain. The forecast early, then patchy fog developing late. We'll see a low around 40. And tomorrow, more patchy fog possible in the morning, but mostly sunny with a high of around 54. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
This year, give the gift of delicious food, incredible service, and a lasting memory with the Pillar Restaurant Group gift card. When you purchase a $50 gift card, you receive a $5 bonus card, or purchase a $100 gift card to receive a $20 bonus card. These cards can be used at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, The Butchery, The Bakery, and all Lincoln Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs locations. Available for purchase at any of our concepts or online at prgnebraska.com.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com. Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your curb appeal with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
Everything we do, from our jobs to our hobbies, to the stuff that makes us who we are, all of those things come with the tool of the trade. I'm Trooper White of the Nebraska State Patrol. Wearing your seatbelt can reduce your risk of injury by 50% in a crash. So, every time you get in a vehicle, remember to use the tool of the trade, your seatbelt. This message presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That happy hour crew, I tell you. Nothing nice.
Yeah,
Nothing nice around the block.
Yeah.
Oh, well. We're wrapping up On the Block. I'm Austin Norman. He's Erick Strickland. Couple things to get to here before the end of the show. We are still expecting Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer here at some point early on in Old School. Some breaking news from the Nebraska volleyball front, turning into some Big Ten volleyball news. Caroline Juravicius, we just got done talking about legacy, Stricky, signing with Penn State, where her dad, Joe, played. So from one Big Ten power to another, Caroline Juravicius to Penn State. I still think that's a big get for them, a top 20, top 15 caliber recruit. Good for Penn State. Good for her following her dad's footsteps in a different sport, but at the same school. You hear that the team talk about her athletic as you'll get out, just trapped behind some better, more established players right now.
Yeah, it's just part of the landscape of the day, and when you're that good, it eventually, obviously, took the time to learn, got better, I'm sure, and now is just looking for a greener pasture to try to showcase her skills and her talent. So it's understandable that's going to happen. It's they might be one or so more. I mean, they have a full boat, you know what I mean? And not just a full boat for the immediate future, for quite a while. Yeah.
So best of luck to Caroline Juravicius there at Penn State. I'm going to activate my petty gene here, Stricky. I'm going to do it because I have to do it and I want to do it. Last night up at the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Creighton was retiring Doug McDermott's jersey. No offense, no shade to Doug McBuckets, as he was, so lovingly called by the Blue Jay fans up in Omaha. But Stricky, this is where my petty gene activates. They lost. They lost on Doug McDermott's jersey retirement night. They lost to Villanova, which, solid program, not elite. But this continues a trend, Strick. I think back to, this would have been, just last year, I think. Or was it 2 years ago? I think it was just last year. Nebraska's trying to get back on track. They go to Penn State, and they spoil John Harrah's senior night. They go knock off Ohio State on the road. The best one, though, they beat Brad Davison on Brad Davison's senior night at the Kohl Center. I'm sorry I'm petty, but as a Nebraska fan, it warms my heart to see these other schools lose in such excruciating fashion on their big nights.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. And these games around this time, as a coaching staff, you really have to gauge their mental. And you really have to you have to kind of create a Michael Jordan type of, create some beef and during these times when it's easy for your mind to drift off and start thinking about break and doggone it, you're glad you got through finals. And now it's, I'm about to go home for a few days. I'm going to eat good. I don't got to think about basketball. I maybe get to see my old girlfriend. There's so many ways that you can let yourself down. And then if it's one, and then if it ends up being two, and it starts to trickle in and down the line, maybe a guy off the bench kind of keeps you in it, or two, trying to get you to get back, and you just don't recover. And these are times where letdowns can happen. And you've got to monitor that as a coach. You've got to monitor, Christmas break, spring break. Because I can tell you, to be honest, coming back to Nebraska after baseball and going through summer and then having to deal with, workouts and then go to school after that, bro, no. I was like, man, mentally I was spent, tired, didn't want nothing to do with, and then the cold comes in after you've been in the hot summer, all, I was on probation. I was mentally checked out. But then, I was able to kind of have a, correction quickly, have some conversations with the academic staff, get a turn. So I'm saying coaches need to, they got to figure out some way to create some beef in these situations to inspire them to, fight it out. Because when you're in the midst of it, it's tough to get somebody out of a jam or a hole when mentally they've checked out.
And if you're in Nebraska, that's why, again, like you're saying with Jameis, you eat that W and you forget about it, right? You didn't lose. You had every opportunity to get tripped up, but you found a way to win. I love your idea of the coaches having to create beef, but sometimes a coach can create beef, but the players just don't execute, just don't follow through, which is where these wake-up calls need to be taken seriously by the players, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Meaning you can't go out there and shoot the ball for them. You can't go out there and rebound for them. You can't go out. You can yell, scream, and slam and throw and do all those things. Do your greatest Bobby Knight impression and all of that. But at the end of the day, if they check out on you, it's
that's it.
You don't have those defibrillators, live defibrillators, to really get a charge out of somebody. You don't have that.
Not to shock a full 5-man lineup at once.
No, you can't do it. So it's unfortunate, that it happens, but it's I'm not even going to say it's this time or it's this generation. I'm not even going to say it's that, because I think it happens to all of us, the best of us. So
whether it's sports, whether it's life, right? Sometimes we get checked out, we get caught slipping.
Just checked out. Work, I told
That's
you
tomorrow.
I have the open wound clinic, and all I was trying to do is not have sit downs and going and meet with some of these directors of nursings across the state. I'm not trying to have that. I'm just trying to get them information so that when they come back refreshed, revived, feeling good, joyous, this is sitting right in their face so they can have a look and, oh, yeah, let me give him a, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to meet with you now because your mind is checked out. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're at home with the kids and the family and so forth and so on. So yeah.
To Creighton's credit, they weren't the only team to suffer a loss in Big East play. Not the only top 10 team to suffer a loss. Not only did Creighton get got, Marquette got beat. They got beat by Providence in Providence. The dunk, Kim English, rose up and got him. Maybe the more surprising one, Seton Hall, still trying to find its way under Shaheen Holloway, got down 10 points early, ripped off like a 21-7 run, led UConn at half, and then extended. Seton Hall beat UConn by 15 points. The Big East strike, I'm telling you, watch out. Best basketball conference in America for my money.
That's the word out there. That's the word out there right now. That's all you're saying. So, hey, I'm going to keep an eye on it coming down the stretch.
Let's do it. Good show today.
Yeah.
Let's not check out tomorrow. We still got Friday to go.
Got
2
one more to
hours.
go.
2 hours of On the Block. Hopefully you're done with work for the week, but doesn't mean you can't dial us up tomorrow from 2
Thank
to
you
4.
guys for
Big
not
thank
checking out on us. We appreciate you.
Yes. He's Strick. I'm Austin. Jay Foreman in the house. Got Old School with Jay coming up next. I think Kevin Meyer's on his way in. But hey, if not, it's me and Jay chilling for a couple hours. It'll be Old School next for Strick. I'm Austin. It's been On the Block at 93.7 The Ticket. At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always,